The only thing that is holding us back is our ability to express ourselves, our needs, the things that we desire. I have so often seen when I'm asking from a child, do you want to come with us? Do you want to go for a swim? Do you want to jump? Do you want to play? I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't know. This feeling of passiveness when we have succumbed our real emotions and our real desires, and we have directed it into computer games, into mindless doings, and then we realize at one point that we are struggling in our lives. But when we taste the real success, when we speak up and we do the thing that we love, we become great. Like my cousin, when he was 13 years old, he had over 100,000 followers on TikTok. He was doing World War II themed videos over there. He was just doing some stories, posting some videos and discussing about the topic that he was passionate about. And he received a lot of followers and he was a great inspiration. So should everyone be, that we find our niche and we start obsessing about it. My obsession since 12 years old, so 17 years, my obsession has been the voice, the expression of self. I have gone to countless of voice lessons, to retreats, to tutors, and I have realized that my passion through voice is to give voice to other people. It's not me who is the great speaker, but no, I want to hear other people talking to me. So the first principle of great speaking is listening, gathering the information. Like my cousin, when he was 13 years old, he gathered information about World War II and he put it together. So he was listening. Yes, you can listen with your eyes, with your nose. It's the gathering of information, the data. And he was putting it out through his own filters. He processed the data and made a package. The same is that I'm doing to you. I am gathering information from all the places around. I'm inspired by architecture. I'm inspired by music. I'm inspired by the nature. I'm inspired by business. I'm inspired by my children, by my wife. I'm inspired by building of construction. And I'm gathering all those ideas and I'm putting forth them for you to obtain, that you could become the greatest version of yourself, the master, the speaker, the one who dares, who is not afraid. Yes, and of course, listening is a skill that needs to be practiced. Many people who say that they are great speakers, they are actually not, because they are bad in listening. As a great speaker goes into a room, he or she does not have to speak. Silence is a power. Silence can tell a lot more of a person than 1,000 words. The art of listening can be learned in many ways. It can be by gathering information, listening to audiobooks, reading books, listening, inspiring people speaking to you. But the listening can be also learned by looking in the eyes of your spouse or your child and listening to their needs and their ideas and their desires. And listening is also sitting in a talking circle. You are intently listening to the speaker. And when your turn is, you don't think, you speak. So the second way to enhance your power of expression, your speaking. Is speaking up. Finding a way where you can express yourself every day. Like those people who are selling books, knocking on the doors. Hey, do you want to buy a book? That's a great skill that you can learn. It's a skill of communication. My friend, who's an architect, he went to the United States of America when he was young, and he was knocking on the doors and selling books, and he got a lot of money from there. But what's most important, he received a skill of communication. Since that time when he was there, he's doing his architecture work, but he loves communicating with people. He knows a lot of people, and he finds inspiration in those small interactions. So being open and finding your inspiration and daring to open up your offers to the people. It's all about realizing that you have got nothing to lose. You have only this life, this moment now. You set your goal, what you want, and you go there. And if your goal seems to be too large, write it down and put a date on it. Because if you are afraid of being yourself, who else can take your place? There's always someone else who wants to be in your place. But when you decide to be great, people start to follow you. And greatness doesn't mean that you are now in a spotlight. No, you start sharing your ideas, your stories, your way of life. It can be knitting some clothes or offering a massage to people. What's that makes you passionate? And of course, inviting all of your friends to journey with you. You're never alone. So the third principle, never be alone. Always bring on people on board. And if your ideas, like mine, I struggled for many years being alone because my ideas were too much in the future, in 2050s. And I realized I must learn more about the money, the monetary value of life, and how we can monetize our services. When I realized that idea, people started following me and coming along on the journey where I am, of bringing them to their greatest abilities, to experience themselves, to explain others what they are about. Your sales speech. Design your sales speech and rehearse it on people, and you become even better on it. My aim is to empower people that they can speak up and become better versions of themselves. I want to empower 100,000 people during the next year that they will become the greatest expressions of their passion. The obstacles are on our minds. Obstacles are there that we could suppress them, that we can go past, beyond, that we look straight there. And if you have problems with your posture, start doing some yoga or some heavy weight lifting. Be outside, run around, jump over fences, climb a tree, and you will become beautiful. And the importance of listening. I love to hang out in parks next to the trees. When I eat a meal, I sit next to a tree. I learned it from reading a bibliography of a Buddha. Buddha enlightened while sitting under a lotus tree. So I realized to be great in our minds, it's all about being close to the trees. And it helps because I clean my mind from all the troubles, and I get inspired when I'm next to the trees, when I'm working with the trees, even when I'm cutting trees. Of course, that's counterintuitive, because when I'm killing something, how can I be inspired? Because I I have received the information from my elders that you negotiate with a tree. You ask from a tree, can I cut you down? And if a tree agrees, then you can cut it down. But if tree says no, then it's a no, and you cannot cut it down. So listen to your elders, listen them speaking to you, talking to you, and you will become great. Speaking up is all about being authentic. All the ideas, all the thoughts that we have in our hearts, they need expression. Otherwise, we will be stuck in our conditioned mind. Oh, what she will think if I say that? Oh, that's so impolite for me to express. No, I was in a course, actually it was a voice course, how to use the power of voice to heal others. And the lecturer was there speaking, and we were sitting on the chairs for 3 or 4 hours, and I hate sitting on a chair. And I could not receive the information anymore. And I stood up, went to and sat down on the corner of the room. And the lecturer went red from her face, and she was so angry. Oh, darling, would you like to leave the classroom, please? And I'm like, no, I want to listen. I just felt uncomfortable by sitting there. I'm sitting here and I'm fine. And she was so angry. And after the course, she was even more angry, and she sent me an email how bad student I was, etc. And I said, could I have a refund? Because I did not care. I was there to receive, and if a tutor is not accepting the way how I behave, then there's a lot more for her to learn. Yes, I have my boundaries. I have my way of life, and I'm not making compromises. I'm living in a way that is most pleasant for me, and hope you will achieve it as well. So, hope you enjoyed. Subscribe and check out the 8 exercises for the voice. See you soon.